And now for your sports news, we're joined by NTD's Dave Martin. Dave, first off, welcome back to sports.
Thank you. It is great to be back. We missed so much, you know?
We did. So on that note, a lot going on. Let's start in the NFL, though, as the New York Jets commented today about their major trades this week, calling one of them too good to pass up. What stood out to you about these deals?
You know, there were several things I would say. You know, one is that the Jets just did a rebuild really a few years ago, and these were two of the players they brought in as part of that rebuild. Quinnen Williams, Gardner, both are all pro players. Both are still in their 20s. It's a little surprising with the talent they have that it has not resulted in at least a playoff run yet. I mean, not even one. In fact, the Jets have the worst record in the league right now somehow. So I guess I was surprised that they're already scrapping this rebuild so quickly, especially if you're looking at getting the number one pick in next year's draft, which they are certainly in line to with the worst record. But then I saw the assets that they got. 2 first-round picks and a young wide receiver for Sauce Gardner from the Colts, and then a first and a second-round pick from the Cowboys, plus a young defensive tackle for Quinnen Williams from Dallas. I thought that was actually a very good haul. Besides, it's hard to actually be worse than last place, which they are right now. So you might as well actually get some assets for the future, I guess. It's not working out. They gave away some good players, though. It's kind of hard to believe.
All right, well, shifting gears to baseball. We didn't get much of a chance to discuss the World Series last week. Something called the election came up. Now, it ended up being quite a thriller, though. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it was the most exciting World Series I can ever remember, and that's definitely saying something. I've been watching these for a long time. I'll give my full thoughts in a minute. First, I want to play a clip of retired former 3-time MVP player Alex Rodriguez talking about this World Series here.
The greatest World Series I've seen in my lifetime, number one. You know, before we started, we thought it was David versus Goliath. Before Game 7, we knew we were wrong. There was Goliath versus Goliath. If you hate the Dodgers, you probably want to hold your ears here. Not only are they just getting started, but they have the number one minor league system of the 30 teams. Number one in pitching, number one in prospects, number one in hitting. So the Dodgers have it all going on. Canada should be very proud. And also, let's not feel pity. While I feel terrible for the Blue Jays because they were so close they can taste it, let's not cry poor for them. They also have Vladimir Guerrero that they signed up for $500 million. So this is really the Titans versus Titans.
You know, I think what really made this series so special was seeing the favorites, the Dodgers, not really playing their best while kind of carrying the weight of trying to repeat as champions, somehow then pulling it off. And then you've got that epic Game 3, that 18-inning affair with Shohei Ohtani really having one of the best games in playoff history. Really one of the greatest World Series games ever. And then you got an epic Game 7, another extra inning affair. The Dodgers really were behind the 8 ball from the get-go. It escaped numerous jams in late innings just to stay within striking distance or to keep from losing it in a couple of instances and then somehow muster just enough offense to win it. I think the best way I can sum it up is the Dodgers somehow found a way to win despite being outplayed by the Blue Jays. I mean, it was pretty incredible, I thought.
Well, Titans versus Titans. Looking at golf news, though, world number 2 Rory McIlroy made some interesting comments about LIV Golf's decision to move to a traditional 4-round format starting next season.
Yes, LIV Golf is switching from the 54-hole format to a 72-hole format starting next year. McIlroy called it a peculiar move. He then went on to say he didn't think that was what was holding them back from being recognized by the official world rankings. And that's very critical because as long as they're not recognized, their players will continue to not get ranking points. They'll eventually drop far enough in the rankings that it'll make it tough for them to get into golf's 4 majors, which they still want to do despite being part of LIV. Now, most of us, outside of these official discussions, believe that the 54 holes was the main reason, the main sticking point behind them getting rejected by the official world golf. But I have to think that had to be the number one point. I mean, LIV Golf's name, after all, is behind the Roman numerals LIV. It's the Roman numerals for 54. That was their thing. It was a 54-hole tournament, kind of set them apart. 3 rounds. I can't believe they'd make a change like that without some assurance. So we'll find out, I guess, for sure when they actually try to apply again to get recognized by the official world golf rankings. Got all that?
Maybe. Moving to college football news, though, the first playoff rankings, known as the CFP, were revealed this week. with Ohio State at number 1. What stood out to you here?
You know, I say this pretty much every year. Only the final rankings actually count. This is probably just for us in the media to talk about, so yeah, I love talking about this. This is the first of 6 rankings that'll come out, and even though they say this is to let people know, what they're thinking, they're not above making last-minute switches. They've done it plenty of times, so I don't put any of stock into any of these pre-rankings. I do find it noteworthy that there's not a single team outside of the Power 4 conferences that made their top 25. They have to put one of those teams in the playoffs. So it's Memphis at 8-1 is designated at that team for now, should the season end today. And it'll probably be whatever wins Memphis's conference is the American Conference. Now, just to review, the 5 highest-ranked conference champions get automatic bids to the playoffs, and the other 7 are just automatic bids decided by this same committee. Playoffs, meanwhile, start on December 19. All right? Hopefully you got all that then, too.
We'll have that to look forward to.
Yes, we will. Can't wait.
David Sawers, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Tiff.